Nightmare Ariel, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I watched two videos today on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. They did two videos with Deontay Wilder, and they were talking about just drug testing, and then they brought up Luis Ortiz, Anthony Joshua, Jarrell Miller, talking about clean boxing program and VADA testing and all that. January 27th, the WBC came out, and they came out with a list of fighters that are not enrolled in the clean boxing program. They had Luis Ortiz and Jarrell Miller. That same day, I went on the VADA website and typed in Luis Ortiz's name, and it popped up as successfully completed VADA testing. I wish that VADA website had a date next to when they successfully completed VADA testing. Does that mean that they're enrolled? Does it mean they, successfully completed it for one fight? Which fight was it? I wish they would have it in detail, because that can confuse a lot of fight fans. Like myself, it did. I'm sitting there scratching my head. I even went to the point where if you go to their official website, you can send an email to them, and then, they'll hit you back. So I sent the email asking them that same day. I have the email. If you guys, want to copy the email, I can send it to you. But I asked them that same day, January 27th, because I was confused. I'm like, well, why would they come out with that when he's on the VADA website? So emailed them. I just asked them. I said, is Luis Ortiz currently enrolled in VADA? I got an email back from Margaret Goodman. She told me currently he is not enrolled in VADA. And she sent me the email so fast, I wasn't even expecting to get a response. It literally came in like 30 minutes. So I tried to hit her back real quick, but this was like, she hit me back in 30 minutes, but I didn't get the email her back until like 2.5 hours later. You know what I mean? But I just seen the email came. She responded fast. So I tried to ask her, was he enrolled in VADA for the David Allen fight and the Malik Scott fight? She never hit me back. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure that out, because I know for the Jennings fight, they use VADA. I believe for the Tony Thompson fight, they used VADA because he was still with Golden Boy, and Golden Boy was strict on clearing his name from that failed test that he had against Latif Coyote, and they wanted him to take VADA and show that he was a clean fighter. His manager also said that they were taking year-round testing. He didn't clarify VADA year-round testing. He just said they were taking year-round testing. But anyways, I tried to ask Margaret Goodman. She never got back to me. So I'm not sure. I can't really speak on it if he was or not for those two fights. But I know for Jennings, he was for sure. Thompson, I believe he was. All right. And then when he wanted to fight Ustinov in the summertime, remember, they couldn't get the fight with Ustinov because Ustinov denied VADA testing. Some people say that Ortiz camp tried to slide that in there after they were trying to sign contracts or whatever it was. But for me, when you're running away from drug tests, man, that just kind of makes me scratch my head. All right. And I know there's a lot of backdoor, crazy, shit that goes on behind the scenes with these agencies. And I understand all that, man. But it just made me scratch my head, But there's a lot of corruption going on too, man. All right. So I tried to figure that out for myself. So according to Margaret Goodman, currently he is not enrolled. All right. Now, that same day, see, this is where it starts to make me say, like, man, what the fuck is going on here? Because that same day, Jay Jimenez, the manager of Luis Ortiz, he comes out with a Twitter post, and he sends it to the WBC Boxing. It's at WBC Boxing, like sending them the message directly. He says, "We don't understand why you say Luis Ortiz is not enrolled. We sent via email to A. Guara, WBC VADA form on September 9th, 2016. Okay. The next day, January 28th, his manager sends another message on Twitter to Boxing Scene where he's telling them, we've been enrolled. We don't know what they are talking about. All right, so let's go back to January 27th. When he came out with that, and he said he sent the email to A. Guara. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? So I did some research, and his name is Alberto Guara. He is the WBC. He's a WBC supervisor. He's also part of the, when they do their rankings, he's a part of that committee that does the rankings too. All right, so to me, it's like it would be very irresponsible, man, for Jay Jimenez to send them, or, to send them that message on Twitter and tell them that he sent them something via email, a form on September 9th. You would think he will have copies of this. That would be very irresponsible as a manager if he didn't. And I believe he has. I'll go on the limb and say I believe he has copies. All right. Now, is there paperwork not getting filed, or is he lying? That's just me giving him the benefit of the doubt that he has copies. Because you would think you would have copies if you're telling, for shit like that, man, it's important like that. Copies of emails and, copies you're saving for your file for this type of shit. You would think that the guy would have that somewhere put up to where he can show people if they needed to see proof. You know what I mean? So, but that's just me giving him the benefit of the doubt. He could be lying. But however whatever's going on, man, I just want the truth to come out. Does he have to resubmit some more paperwork? Do you have to resubmit paperwork every 3 or 4 months or something? Like, how does this shit work? Because he's saying that he sent the form over. So I really don't know, man. I really don't know. But you can use VADA without being in the WBC clean boxing program. People are saying that Joshua's not a part of the clean boxing program. It's like, dude, he's not even rated by the WBC, but he is using VADA for Klitschko. Him and Klitschko are both using VADA. You can look it up. Boxing Scene just did an interview. You can go to Google search and type in Joshua Klitschko VADA testing, and it'll pop up. Klitschko is also using VADA testing for the Fury fight, the rematch. So you can use VADA without being part of the clean boxing program. The clean boxing program is just mandatory for their champions, their title holders, and their top 15. All right. And it's like random year-round type of thing. I guess when you use VADA independent, just using VADA, you can use it just for your fight. Now, some people may argue, well, see, that's giving guys a chance to cycle on and off and things like that. That's fine. I mean, if you're, I'm not a big drug expert, you know what I mean? So maybe that is the case. I don't fucking know. All I know is they're using the shit for this fight. And Klitschko used it for his last fight too. All right. So you can still use VADA without being signed up to the clean boxing program. But if you're part of that top 15 and you don't want to get dropped for the rankings from their top 15, like David Hay did, because he wasn't signed up to the clean boxing program when they had him rated and he got dropped. But really, it's like he was trying to fight anybody in the WBC. So, or as far as trying to fight in some type of eliminator, he wasn't really trying to go that route. You know what I mean? But just my 2 cents on it, man, about all this. This is probably my last video talking about this unless somebody pops dirty for a test. But I'm good with the Wilder versus Washington fight. It's a fight that I've been talking about since last summer. I was doing videos about that matchup because I thought stylistically it'd be a good fight. Jarrell Miller was another guy that they talked about because Wilder came out and said that they were not going to fight anybody with a felon drug that had failed drugs in the past for this short notice fight. That was their reasoning. And some people are kind of scratching their head about Jarrell Miller. Some people were asking me like, what the fuck? When did Miller test dirty for a fight? And it was 2014. And I got this information from MMAmania.com. All right. He got suspended 9 months and fined $2,500. He competed at Glory 17 against Mirko Cro Cop. And he had a post-fight urine sample that came back dirty. All right. The fight was June 21st, 2014. The article MMAmania.com came out August 10th, 2014. So a few months after. All right. And when this came out, Jarrell had 30 days to submit a request to appeal the suspension. I'm not sure how it played out after that. I'm not sure if he put a request in to appeal the suspension. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Maybe that's something I should ask Jarrell, reach out to him and ask him about it. But I'm not sure how it played out, but that's what happened, reportedly. You know what I mean? So that's where that came from, and it's Washington, man. I'm not going to sit here and, I already told you guys who the fighters who I would like to see Wilder fight. I would love to see the Klitschko and the Joshua fights and the Ortiz fights. I want to see all those fights, man. But if he gave us with a, second tier of opposition to fight, guys like Washington, Jarrell Miller, Jennings, Andrew Weiss Jr., Dillian White. Well, shit, Dillian White would have been crossed off the list too for short notice because he had his problems back in the day. But anyways, those type of guys I would have been cool with him fighting. You know what I mean? So I'm good with the fight, man. I know some of you out there are mad and pissed off and all that. That's on y'all, man. Of course, I want to see the other fights with Wilder. Of course, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to see him fight the other guys? Parker and all those dudes, of course. But I'm good with Washington. I'm out.